I'm live. Hello, everybody. Okay, so I am not feeling 100% today. However, I am compelled to do this live today. Now, I feel like I don't want to patronise anybody, and I know some people are having an amazing time, some people have an awful time, and some people are somewhere in the middle. Now, I just wanted to create a pretty short and simple live session here that we can have on record and put out again. And it's my advice, basically, for what it's worth. My advice, if you are struggling to pay your bills, having been in really serious debt, personal debt myself, in my life, and run businesses for the last 10, 15 years that have been sometimes incredibly successful, sometimes incredibly not successful, things that have worked brilliantly, things that haven't worked. I've had good days, bad days, and everything in between, right? So, but money mindset, it's all about, feeling positive and all that good stuff. And I could talk about positive money mindset all day long. I love it. I love all the money mindset work. I did some tapping with Brad yesterday, Tap with Brad Yates on YouTube about wealth, uncovering money blocks. I'm there for it. However, I'm super spiritual. I'm also a super realist. We are in the real world. Things get challenging, and I don't think it's helpful to just constantly send a message of it's all in your mind, you've just got to think positive and everything's going to be all right, right? I think that can be a little bit, shaming, let's put it that way, when things are tough and you think, oh, it must be me, I've not got the right mindset, or I'm not, doing the right things, and etc. So it's just from me to you. I'm not selling anything. I just wanted to, somebody somewhere needs to hear it, right? And that's what makes me do lives like this, because I know I should be helping successful people be more successful, but I just get drawn into helping people who are in that place where business can transform their lives. And the reason why I can transform their lives is because their lives are not in the best place right now. But I have lady flu and I'm freezing cold. I'm not allowed to put the heating on either, right? Okay, so let's give you a quick rundown of what my advice would be. If you came to me and said, Helen, I'm really struggling, I can't pay my bills, right? I am really in a tight spot. What do I do? And this is my advice. Okay, so number one is work out where you are and ask for help. Again, this comes from my experience. I didn't open post for a long time. I didn't answer my phone for a long time. And the process of going through opening all the post and working out where I was at and putting it all down on paper was painful, because ignorance is bliss, and denial when things feel hopeless. And this is definitely coming from a place of like my own personal experience, but you can't move forward if you really don't know where you're starting from. So what I would definitely say is ask for help, ask for a trusted friend who, no judgment. People, that it might even be that you've been portraying one thing and reality has been something very different, and that's okay. There's no shame around that as well. We are told, we've got to be positive and present this front and stuff. So find a trusted contact. It could be somebody you're not that close to, or, for me, I've got friends that I can go to or have been to, and my dad and stuff like that. So it's difficult, and it might even be that you've not told the closest people to you, partners and things like that. So, but find somebody, ask for help. And I would also recommend that the first step that you take is that you go to Step Change. So stepchange.org. I've been having a look around the website today. It has been a while since I've been there. But Step Change with a charity that I work with, I mean, I'm talking, they must be here for a long time, because I think this was in 2010 for me, something like this. But they are an amazing charity. They are very non-judgmental. They've got lots of resources. I think when I contacted them, you had to just ring them, and that was terrifying. But I think when I looked at the website, there's loads of different options. There's little quizzes on there, there's Q&A, there's lots of help and support there. So go there, even if you're not planning on going into a debt management plan or anything like that, but go on there and have a look around the website. There's a lot of good stuff on there, and also keep that in your notes, ready for other people who might need your help. And the other thing is, the more you do talk about it openly and honestly, and we remove the shame around struggling with the money situation, the more people that you'll help as well. So get yourself sorted, and then you can go off and help other people. So go and have a look at step change, but it might be that you just write down the actual current position. Cash flow is king, right? And working out where you're at, what's coming out, what the reality is, what's coming in, what's going out. It sounds obvious, but it's easy, but it's not. It's simple, but it's not easy to do. So it can be quite difficult. But that's the first thing I would do. First step is work out where you're at, because then you know what you're dealing with. You can also, make that your ground zero. This is the day I'm going to try and change things. I'm just going to hold things. It's not going to, I'm going to be realistic about where I'm at and where I'm going next. So number one is definitely awareness. Right. Number two, I talked about this on the call yesterday. The world has completely changed. So working part-time remotely, fully remotely, working from home part-time, to me, is just the same as having a client, except they pay your tax and insurance and stuff, so, and your holidays. So it's a real blurred line between employed and self-employed, I think. But there's loads and loads of companies out there who are willing to hire people part-time remotely, but not willing to use freelancers. So there could be lots of opportunities for you out there. I was going to show you actually on LinkedIn what you do. So I set up some alerts on here to see what kind of things came up. And there's just tons, absolutely tons of stuff. So hold on, hold on a sec. I was just checking that because just getting a discussion on what my client's having tomorrow for their lunch. Okay. So if you're on LinkedIn here, you go to this job section here with this little briefcase. And I just wrote in here, marketing director, part-time remote. So this would be for me, but yours would obviously be something different. And then I had a look. So they've not all come up as full-time, but you can just go through and have a look and see what, and these are all full-time, so I don't have to do it by part-time, but they're all, hold on, let's go to all thingy, let's have a look. They are all part-time, there you go. So you can click on part-time, you can also click on contract here. So it reduces the results a lot, obviously. But here we go, head of marketing, 45 grand a year, mid-senior level, part-time, home-based, or Nottingham offices, flexible, 3 days a week. See, I'm like, that's quite good, right? Nearly 50 grand a year, and it's all good, right? Like, just go and have a look. That's what I would say. Just have a look and have a look around, see what's available in your kind of area of expertise, and see what comes up. So that's one thing that I wanted to say, is that definitely there's no shame in having a part-time job or a full-time remote job or a full-time go to the office job. Don't believe the hype that you have to be full-time entrepreneur or that's it. You can always come back to being an entrepreneur. You can always have a side hustle. You can always work full-time and do something part-time, or you can do a mix of the 2 or 3. You might want to get a job though where you don't have to think. So you might want to go and work on a till at Tesco a few days a week and then focus on your business the rest. So you've got some income coming in. You might want to go back to doing what you did before, high-level consultancy, and get paid great money, but it's not what you want to do, but you just get the money in for now. It's not forever, it's just for now. And then do that alongside your business. Full-time running a business, being fully self-employed is challenging. There's a lot to it, and we're in a really, we've got a market where there's a lot of upheaval. So, but it's a really buoyant recruitment space at the moment. There are more jobs than people, and people are offering remote work as standard, whereas that was unheard of before COVID. So it's a really good time to go and look and see what's available, not just on LinkedIn, but you can look at other job boards as well and look at stuff locally and see what happens. Put your CV on a job board and see what comes up. Just say, I only work remotely, and I'm interested in opportunities about X, Y, Z. That's unless you might want to go into work and see people for a bit, and that's okay too. So getting some money in. A lot of people don't know that I worked in a warehouse when I started my business. I used to work from 7 a.m. till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I could pick the kids up, and my mum and dad did the breakfast club side of things. Did I like getting up at 5 a.m, getting the kids ready, dropping off mum and dad? No. Did I do it because I needed a baseline of income coming in? Absolutely. So yeah, this is your permission to get some part-time work if that's what's right for you right now. No shame in it. And it could be full-time work as well, and you can do whatever you want. There you go. Sometimes you've just got to think, what's right for me next? Not forever, but for the next 6 months, 12 months. And this is one that I hate talking about, really, because it goes against all of my, it's an abundant universe and we can always make more money, and we love making money out of nothing, right? But it's been a really strong exercise for me at home and in my business to go through everything, just get rid of stuff that I wasn't using. And there's no hardship to cut out things you're not using. Things like, I think I was paying for Sky and Netflix, but you get Netflix through Sky now. Things like that. It's like, well, that can go. Audible, not listened for an Audible because I listen to podcasts now. Been paying $7.99 a month for that forever. And I'm like, I don't really need it. So there was that, get rid of. And then in the business, like, what subscriptions have you got that you don't use? What upgrades have you done in the past when maybe you were doing more? For example, on Zoom. I was thinking about this because it came through because I checked my bank now. And thinking, do we need that high-level Zoom now? Because we've not done a webinar for more than 500 people for a while. So can we maybe reduce that and things like that? So definitely look at where you can cut costs in your business. And unfortunately, sometimes that comes as people, and that's a shame, but that's business, and that is the way it is, unfortunately. You have to make the right decisions for your business at the right times, and sometimes that can include people, sometimes tech, software, subscriptions, offices. Well, I gave up my office, which I loved, but fundamentally, I've got plenty of room in my house. So it's just a business decision in a lot of ways, and you can do that both ways. And can I get an office in the future if I want to? Yeah, it's okay. But that's, £500 a month, £6,000 a year saved. That's basically going into my pocket. So it's things to think about. Easiest way to do this is print out your bank statements and go through them line by line. Like, what is this? Do we need it? Do we want it? Yes, no. Can it go? Can it be paused? And the other thing to think about here is make sure you've got all your money in your business. So make sure you are really hot on chasing up invoices, making sure people get paid, and, firmly but gently making sure people pay you on time. And that's business. Again, it's business, but it sounds simple. But if you've got invoices that aren't being paid, it's going to mess up your cash flow pretty quick. And then number 4, sell like your life depends on it, because it kind of does. So whilst you're doing all the other stuff about working out where you're at, getting some advice, maybe getting some help from Step Change, talking to somebody about it, and perhaps looking for part-time work and looking at cutting costs, get selling. Because ideally, you don't want to go into debt management plan. You don't really want to get a part-time job, or you don't really want to start cutting costs. So if you can make more money, then this all becomes moot points, right? So sell like your life depends on it. Like, how can you sell more? How can you chase up people who've been asked you about working with you before? How can you do things like, like I do mastermind days, which are great income for me and lots of fun and enjoy them. Could you do a mastermind day for a small group of people? Could you do, a small group online thing for people who are in your world? Are the people in your world who pay for VIP to work closer with you? These are just 3 things I'm doing this week. So I'm always selling like my life depends on it, because the cash flow in my business does, and it allows you to get in front of different people in different ways, right? So how can you sell more of what you know? And normally it's by doing the things that worked before that you've stopped doing and you're not sure why. So being more visible, following up with leads, messaging people who've messaged you in the past, sending emails out to your list, asking people for referrals, all that good stuff. It's kind of like, as much as I love a pity party, we've also got to be taking action and getting moving in the right direction, because paralysis is not going to help you here, people. And then finally, do something nice for yourself. Just because you're struggling, or just because you've got cash flow issues, or just because you've got debt doesn't mean you can't do nice things for yourself. It might mean you can't treat yourself to business class and a 5-star spa break in Dubai right now, and that's okay. But you can give yourself half an hour on the sofa with a brew. You can give yourself half an hour to do something nice, your face pat, all that kind of, it sounds like a cliche, but have a bath, go for a walk, do something for yourself, but mindfully do something for yourself. There's no point beating yourself up. Guilt, shame doesn't benefit anybody. So take some action, do the things, and then when you've done the things, when you've reached out to someone and said, I need some help, when you've sent an email into Step Change, when you've signed up for part-time alerts on LinkedIn, when you've cancelled a couple of subscriptions, and when you've put a couple of posts out, reward yourself with a specific treat for yourself for taking action when you're in a challenging time. So hopefully that's useful. I'm sending lots of love from me to you if you are struggling at the moment. And I'm always open to chatting to people and talking to people. And if I'm the person you want to tell about your debt or your struggles, then no judgment from me at all, just pure support. And hopefully this will have helped you. So lots of love. Have an amazing day.